Kalimera, Kalispera, whatever time you are watching this is Mappa. I'm knackered already. I'm tired already. I'm tired already, bro. I'm tired already. How you doing, Thassos? We good?
I am good, man. I am good. You've had a week, haven't you?
I've had a week. I've had a week. I've had a week. Mate. Joe, if it isn't Omonia making me lose my pubic hair because I've got no hair on my head, it's work. Transfer deadline day is the worst for me, man. It's the worst. And the thing is, I could be sitting here at 10 to 11 minding my business, and I'll get a message from someone saying, I've got this player. He's looking for a club. I heard that you need players. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do at this time of night? I'm ready to put my pajamas on and go to bed.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here with a peppermint tea, minding my business. It's like, there, deadline is done, it's finished, no more till the summer, Gani. And here we go. I get people messaging me, former Premier League players. Can you help me find this one a club? What? And I'm thinking, I said to him, who's his agent? He goes, he's dropped him.
Oh, okay.
I've never met the guy. Anyway, enough about me. How you doing, bro? You good?
I'm fine, man. I'm fine. You've got the weirdest work problems. I was saying that just before we started recording. Yeah, I'll be having this live CY guy. Anyway, yeah, it's been a week for me. Albeit not job as yours. Obviously, because I'm not involved in football, I'm involved in other things, and those other things kick off, especially between Monday to Thursday. Friday is supposed to be a bit more easygoing, but even today has been a bit, you know. So crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Speaking of crazy, a lot of craziness has been going on lately, hasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, we were meant to go live Wednesday night, but obviously something happened with Omonia, so I had to do a stream then. And then yesterday I was just so drained, absolutely drained.
Yes.
I was like, do you know what, mate, let's just hold it one more day. Let's hold it one more day. And here we are now. There's a lot to go by. So I didn't even run this by you before we went live, but what I've got the roundup, but I've done team by team in terms of the league standings. I think it'll be easier that way instead of getting all the highlights, because some games finished 0-0, some games didn't even happen.
Oh yeah, there's that as well. Yeah.
So yeah, shall we just roll with what we got?
Speaking of rolls, I like to eat rolls every so often. You know, you look any gobita, you know, that kind of thing. That's a nice roll to have, isn't it? A sausage roll. You know where you can get the ingredients to make Cypriot style sausage rolls?
Foodfromcyprus.com.
There you go. Remember, NCN12 for that 12% discount.
We're so good at this. Even by accident, we managed to find a way to plug it. Let's go.
I'm good at it, man. I don't know what to tell you.
He's a natural.
Give me some more sponsors. I can make up some more stuff.
Make some jingles.
Yeah, exactly.
Andreas Garalampus.
Anyway, Gan Direct.
Orphanides.
Let's not do any more of that, because we're gonna get the video shut down on YouTube.
We've already got one person dropping out on the live. Oh my god! Let's go. Here we go. We got a new viewer. I think Nico's a new viewer.
Hello, Nikos.
Welcome. I don't recognize that name, but welcome. Yes. Anyway, let's go with your team up well. Back-to-back victories. Victory away at Salamina and the victory at home against Gadmiodissa. It was pretty bog standard, easy work, light work for your guys. Talk to me.
There's not much to say. Yeah, there's nothing for me to be negative about. It's very It's very, very strange, isn't it? But yeah, fantastic performances both games. We've got the Garmio goals as well. It's just fantastic performance by the whole team. There really isn't anything for me to say. Sacha scored the goal as well, and then when he started celebrating, he had like proper like fucking kind of screams like he wanted to kick something off. But yeah, great stuff. Nothing negative to say about the team, about the players. Nothing negative to say about the players. For sure, they're doing their bit for to stay on top, despite all the things happening around them. And I don't know how they do it. Oh.
Well, before we carry on, I'd just like to say, George, thank you. You've done it again. George is just like.
Yes, it's back.
Yes, it's back.
One is back.
Yes, it's back indeed. And thank you, George, for 10 NC Network memberships. There you go, 99 cents a month, boys and girls. You get exclusive No Chofters memberships. And you get the exclusive access to the analysis videos. And we will be doing some extra This is Mappa pods soon. We're just trying to find the time. Apologies. We've just had a really, 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 really busy week. So it's going to be on our to-do list for sure. George, by the way, it's his first time watching live. He wants us to make it a good one, and so he can celebrate. Sorry, my guy. I'm not really going to be celebrating much. You listen, it's a comedy club tonight, so if anyone wants to come here and do some stand-up with us, no problem.
Yeah.
Why are Green Balls not live? Chances are, I think they might be going live tomorrow, I think. Hello, boys. There's a question here, Thassos, but we're going to go into that later on, Gostandino. We're going to do the league review first. And then afterwards, we're going to talk about all the madness. The Macho Madness. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. You could change his name to not Uncle Stavro. Oh, my God. Bareda. Because there's a lot. There's a lot to go through. So anyway, I'm going to ask you a question here, right?
Go on.
I'm going to put this to the viewers, and a lot of people are going to start turning off now, right? But if Upwell win the league this season, given everything that's been going on in the club recently, we're talking the non-payment of players, the debt, we're talking about the head coach being banished to the stands. You know, it's his first season. You've got the second in command there, obviously, with all the drama that's gone on in the background. If Upwell do go on to win the league, is this the greatest title win in recent history, given the circumstances?
I'll tell you something. It might be, I mean, how many teams do you know that have been through the kind of crap that the team is going through this season and managed to come out of it with, a title on top of it as well? I tell you what, it's a fucking story, isn't it? People are going to write about it for a long time if that happens.
Well, you will. You will.
Well,
for sure.
listen, I'm not going to shut up about it if it happens. But the players, the players dealing with all the stuff that's happening around them, and on top of that, kind of the delays in the payments of their salaries and things like that, they have been fantastic. Even the ones that I have a go at,
the one at the back.
Sorry?
The one at the back.
Oh, there's one at the back. Yeah, exactly. There's also a Portuguese guy with a volleyball's name in there as well. But yeah.
Sorry, he's just changing the subject here, Nigo. He's saying third in the FPL Roy's Wi-Fi League, coming for FC Under. I need to check my team, actually. I haven't done that for this
I need to as well. I haven't done it for a while either, so I'm going
to be doing that while you continue to talk about your club.
I mean that's it. There's the kind of all the negativity that surrounded the team this year. The fact that they're still up there is testament to the players and their mentality, like Scuval brought up earlier on. So it's fantastic. Live
Happy days for
CY's
you.
got a problem with you, by the way. Do you want to put up that last comment?
That's very minute, man. Flipping hell, just calm down. I'm trying to do like 3 things at once. Like I'm literally trying to change my FPL.
I'm
I'm trying to
keeping you
change my
busy.
FPL team.
I'm
Will
keeping
we
you
go
busy.
to support Ari effort after the green and white? Well, listen, anyone but them lot. So I don't care. I don't care.
Mono
Ella,
abuelo. Mono abuelo.
deadlines tomorrow. Haaland's going up. I'm not going to pick Haaland. I'm not going to pick him. I have to take out Dom Solanke. Got to take him out. But he's probably going to score tomorrow, no my luck, or whenever he's going to play. Anyway, shall we move on to Ari? Move on to Ari with good victories. One against Ethnigar, absolutely battering them 6-2. Game was done in the opening half an hour. And then they beat... Who did they beat after that? Oh, it was Othello 4-0. Apologies. What I must say there, Thasso, I've been very, very impressed with Eddie Semedo, the new signing.
Yeah, Eddie Semedo. Montnor has been a champ as well, as has the other new guy, Sawo.
Yes, Sawo, yeah.
He's been really good as well. I mean, he came on at half time against Othello and scored a hat trick. Before he and he got the assist as well for the other goal. So, and that was just after he came on after half time. So imagine if he'd stayed on the whole game, it would have been.
Yep.
It would have been, because before he came on at half time against Othellos, the game was pretty even. So, massive change. Aris, they're gonna be up there to the end. What I want to talk about though in that Othello was something that came up in like the 3rd minute. That was absolutely shocking, obviously, all week. And Sané, Aris's left back, right back. He's
right back, yeah.
Yeah, he's one of them anyway. He likes to go into a challenge, like he keeps picking up yellow cards all the time, and he's been sent off once or twice this season.
Once against Somonia, I'm certain of that.
And he was a very, very, very lucky boy to not concede a penalty against Othellos, because I think the reason that he got away with it was, despite the fact that he slid in and it was late and it was a bad tackle, he managed to get the ball by accident. Like he slipped and he slid as he went down. He was trying to bring down the player, or he wasn't aiming for the ball anyway. He wasn't going to end up anywhere near the ball. But because of how wet it was, he managed to get the slightest touch on the ball as he went through the player. And on VAR, they checked it 2 or 3 times and they decided no, it wasn't a penalty.
No.
And obviously there's a few fans of my team that looked at that and went, well, somebody's trying to fix this. See, I'm not, as you know me, I'm not conspiracy theory ilk, but he was very lucky to not concede the penalty and actually not be sent off for that tackle, I think. What do you think?
Look, I think it was reckless. I think he's got it in him. He's got it in him.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not going to say that there's some kind of conspiracy theory. Yes, I think they ballsed it up big time. That being said, even if they went a goal behind, I think they still would have gone on to win it.
Yeah.
In all fairness, because Adi aren't the kind of team that they're suffering from a European hangover now. They've got over it. Peras and Bellaradus, as we say, the madness is gone, it's past. And while Bambika's gone, they have brought in Semedo. They obviously signed Sawor before. Stepinski is gone, but it looks like they're not missing him at all. They signed a new central defender from Senegal. They've done well this window, and the players appear to be slotting in almost as if they've gelled straight away. they're not playing without any fear as well, because at the beginning of the season they did look a little bit rusty, if that makes sense, but they're creating opportunities, man, and scoring 10 goals in 2 games. That's a statement of intent.
It is. What I've noticed as well is when I've caught Aris's games is that Gogorin is very quiet as well. So he's not even elevated to the level he was at last season. So there's still a step up that these guys can go. So it's going to be a very, very, very interesting second half of the season when we get to it.
Well, it's only 4 points difference now. It's only 4 points difference. And the next games, you've got... Who have you got next? So you've got Aboy against AEK and Salamina Ari.
Yeah.
The way that things are at the moment, it could either be down to 2 points or it could be down to 1 point by the end of the weekend. So
AEK is the most difficult game that Aboy would have played for quite a while.
Yeah.
But those players are confident, they're buoyed, they're up there. So the games that they've played before the AEK game coming up, confidence boosters, so be a spicy one coming next weekend. This weekend, sorry.
This weekend.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of AEK, victories over Karmiodis and Omonia moves them all the way up to 3rd. And here we are. Well, here we were a few weeks ago saying, can they sneak in? Well, they're in a European place now, mate.
Yeah, look at that. They're on it. They are on it. Just there's a goal that will come up for AEK. It's a proper strike. I think it's Ledis. Yeah, in the next game. But there's players that. There you go. The shocking defending there to let Franson in. But Omonia, there was only one team playing this game after that goal went in from Franson. There was only one 100%. Team that showed up. But
100%.
Yeah. But so AEK, I keep going on. I don't think I'm the only one, but I keep going on about Ben Shimon being like, he's got like a degree in psychology or whatever, and it's something that is very interesting. Is the fact that they haven't signed they barely signed anyone in the January transfer window, so he's dealing with the exact same players almost that Ultra had at the beginning of the season, and for some reason he's been in charge of them for 10-11 games. They've drawn once. The rest of those games, they've won. Every single one of them. So, whatever Ben Shimon is doing that's different to Ultra is working wonders for AEK right now. And people need to pay attention to him.
And Fransol is getting goals now. I mean, he started the season on like house on fire, then he went quiet. And I think he's a top goal scorer now, isn't he? Hasn't he got,
he's got
12
13.
goals or something like that? 12, 13. Yeah. 13. So, when you've got someone scoring goals with his height as well, we're talking about how the hell can this guy head the ball at 5'5", whatever he is, and he's got a leap on him. But that finish for the second goal, I know he's unmarked, but it's a difficult finish.
Yeah.
And it just seemed to me that the past 2 games, in fact, the past few weeks, defensively, they've been pretty decent. Okay, you can get in behind them in wide areas, which is what Abo are very good at. So, listen, at the end of the day, it's going to be a cracking game. I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, there you go.
Yep.
Anyway, on to the next young man. And we're going to talk about Bafo with a 2-1 victory over Omonia. And then they drew 1-1 against Apollon, but they needed a last-minute equaliser against Apollon, even though Tankovic had his penalty saved. But they beat Omonia 2-1. Tankovic again getting on the score sheet. I don't know what to say that I haven't already said about the game against Omonia, but against Apollon, they were quite fortunate, in all fairness, as far as I'm concerned, because Marquez gave them a lead with a fantastic finish.
Yeah.
But I guess, can you say it shows a bit of resilience that they fought back even though missing a penalty with 2 minutes to go?
With for Bafo, yeah. I mean, I watched this game, and Apollon were. I mean, second half, they weren't even there. That Apollon's player of the match was Dimitriou in goal.
Yeah,
like he kept them in the game without it. I'm pretty sure if Lierenberg was in goal, there would have been 2 or 3 goals in there. I don't know where Dimitriou pulled that performance out from, but I think he'd be very disappointed if he doesn't start the next game.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. But yeah, Bafo, again, okay, they beat Omonia. Apollon, they've a Bafo team that would have not got the goal in the first few chances would normally have just kind of thrown everything out, just gone, fucking hell, I'm not playing then.
Yeah.
Whereas this added resiliency makes them a bit more interesting for the top 6 part of it, because as I keep saying, Bafo do not do well against the top 6 teams, but they managed to get 4 points against 2 teams that are fighting for a top 6 position. I wouldn't say both of them will be in the top 6, but they're definitely fighting for it.
Yeah.
So,
agreed.
Maybe I'm still not putting them up there for the league, but there's no reason why a 3rd place can't come to them if they keep up the resilience against the top 6 teams.
Yep, absolutely. All right, on to the next. And Anorthosi, they lost 2-0 at home to Doxa. They didn't have a game at the weekend or the other day because of the weather. But they had a chance to equalize in the last minute from Gassama, and his penalty was saved by the debutant. And then my good friend Ernest Asante, Buenagrigoros.
I listened. I was looking out for it in the commentary. He didn't say it.
He didn't.
Say it.
It's like when they're talking about the stereotypical black striker, tall, strong, the lazy journalism. He's tall and strong, whereas Asante and Rios.
Yeah, he is a quick boy, though, isn't he? He's a very quick lad.
He's fucking rapid at 35 as well.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Flipping hell.
Amazing. But yeah. Anorthosi, that result was a difficult one to take, especially with Gassama missing the penalty as well. You would have, with the kind of the confidence he's got at the moment with his scoring, you would have thought he had that. Nope. But yeah.
And they celebrated their 113th birthday this week.
Correct. Yes. I mean, there's a reason why people call Anorthosi de Merali because she's fucking old. No, but as always, I'll throw out the congratulations. Another year has gone by, and Anorthosi is still here. And
do you think Amevada showed up with a birthday cake with 113 candles? Then you say Anorthosi.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was kind of every time I hear Amavada's name now, I clench up a little bit, waiting for the fucking Rickroll that you keep doing to me.
Why? Have I hurt you that much?
Well, no. It's like what is it? It's like Pavlov's dog doing it in English. For God's sake. How have you got that lined up every time?
Because I know where it's hidden.
Fucking hell.
Oh, God almighty. Right, I
Man.
did. Right, what
I
else have we
did,
got?
exactly.
What else have we got? I forget what else we've got. Oh, yes, it's the best of the rest. And IL beat Salamina 3-1 the other day. And the Minji has scored twice. He scored twice.
Yeah, well, I mean, he should have scored a hat-trick.
Yeah.
You saw? Did you see the offside decision that they gave on him for
No.
his third goal?
No, I didn't know.
You should ask Ruslan about it. It's unbelievable. Like, and then they showed the VAR replay in the highlights, and then it shows Minchev offside, but you can't see the ball in the VAR highlight, so you don't, and it's not even like the same phase of play or whatever. I got no idea how they decided Minchev was offside for his third goal, but yeah.
It is what it is. It is what it is. There's a comment here. Again, Stel skipped me. Where did I skip you there? Let me have a look. Where are Green Balls live? They should be going live in a bit. I think that's the one that he's referring to. I'm just looking at before one. Stel, is it Tinder time? No, it's not Tinder time. I was just looking at my phone to do my FPL. Don't worry. I'm not going to swipe right on anyone tonight. It's all good. Respect for Ike. They really got their shit together with a new coach. I honestly thought they would get relegated at the start of the season. Really, Alex? Relegated? Wow. Okay.
Wow,
okay.
That was a call. Yeah.
Well, it's not. Is it as bad as your one thinking, oh, we're going to win the league last season?
That's last season. Forget about it.
Monday still. Green Balls will be live. Okay, Monday. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Friday.
After what, Rhea? After where? I'm trying to find out the comments. Where are Green Balls live? That's the last one you put up, and after that's it.
Yeah.
I think he's trolling me. He's trolling me. Anyway, the final game, which had anything to discuss, was Ethnigor beating Doxa. Sorry. Yeah, beating Doxa. Sorry. 2-0.
Yeah.
And
Cabrera. There you go. Gets a nice boot.
Cabrera's your mate. He's your mate.
Gets a boot full of face. Face full of boot. Boot full of face. What the fuck was that? Face full of boot. Yeah. Yeah.
Boy. Again, Doxa, look at this. Doxa beat Buffo, Ari, Anorthosi, and they lose to teams like Ethnigor and Omonia. What's it doing?
Yeah, they're going to have an interesting second half of the season. That's what that tells me.
Yes. My bad. Listen, it's fine. It's okay. I'll get distracted again. Can I get 100% discount for NC Network Premium 1?
Oh,
is there a Premium 1? I don't even know if there's a Premium 1.
Premium 1.
I
don't have Premium 1. Oh,
I guess we could. Oh, well, hey, Asante Edits became a new member.
Oh, is it because we've been talking about him?
Is that Ernest? Is that Ernest? I'm going to message him now, actually. Ernest, is that you? I'm going to message him now.
There's somebody keeps asking me about my opinion on the best centre-back in Cyprus. The best centre-back in Cyprus is probably, I'm going to be a little bit biased here, but he's injured at the moment, so it's very, very difficult to. But regardless, I like missing him. But it's Crespo, isn't it?
Oh, look at this guy throwing in Crespo. He hasn't played a whole season.
Well, he hasn't played a whole season, but when he's been there, he's been Crespo. Also, he's ex-Aston Villa, so.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. You know what I mean, member. Listen, I can't just give away free memberships, my guy. I can't do it.
Yeah, we need to keep the lights on. If he starts giving away memberships, we're going to be like this.
Yeah, You're gonna make us broke, bro. You're gonna make us broke. It was Garo before he left. But he had a great season last year, to be honest.
Yeah.
Most underrated one is Milicevic. Consistency and quiet assassin.
Oh.
No, Mrs. Milicevic.
I'll leave that one for you. You've heard how I don't think Ajax defense is the best. But
Okay, so are we talking most underrated, or are we just saying best here?
yeah, somebody asked me best, not underrated.
Koulibaly.
Underrated, I'd say Payburn.
Yeah, possibly. What about the centre back that scored for Ethnico the other day? I forget his name. Scored against Ari. I forget his name.
Hold on. There's De Riondo, but he's a defense. Is a DM. Who's the centre back? Who's the centre back?
I don't know. I forget his name.
Okay.
By the way, it's not Ernest Asante. It's not him.
Okay.
He said no because I took a picture of it, and obviously I'm in it. He goes, no. This Asante looks white, as in me. So he's joking.
How many white Asantes does he know?
I don't know. Well, the opinion on Koulibaly, I like him, and I think he can become one of the best defenders in the league if he has a consistent run of games and he doesn't start slapping people, because he got sent off against Buffer for a little slap out. But I like him. I think he's very quick, like Asante. He's strong. He's good in the air. He does the basics right. And I think he can become a leader. Can he become Crespo levels? It's going to take time, because Crespo is very, very experienced, man. And he's played in big leagues, big leagues. So
the other thing with Koulibaly as well is that I don't think he takes the league seriously. Like, okay, he made. I think he takes it a bit more seriously than when he started.
Because
that mistake against Garmiotis has, but yeah.
I don't think he's made any mistakes since, though.
No, but it could be. I think there's definitely more to come from him. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's see.
Well, let me bring up the league table then. So, as you can see, Upper top of the league, 4 points clear of Ari, who's second.
Sorry, I didn't hear that first bit you just said.
Aria are in second on 47 points. Aika third on 45, which could be 48 by the weekend. Buffer on 42 in fourth. And Rothesay have a game in hand on 40 points in fifth. And Omonia are in sixth for 5 points ahead of Apollon, who they face at the weekend. So you can safely say that it will be 2-point difference. Salamina in eighth, the perennial mid-table side that we were talking about. Isle in ninth, Ethnigo, Ayes, Garmiodisa, Othello, and Doxa make up the rest of the league. There you go.
Nice.
Best song ever made. DB die. There you go. See, I'm not going to play it again. Don't want to piss off Thassos. But yeah. Anyway, so that's the league done in 34 minutes. I think we've done very well. Maybe we should do it this way from now on.
Yeah.
Unless more scudder happens. Yeah. So, take your pick, my friend. What do we discuss now?
So, do we want to go into the real serious one and then
come on, let's get out of the way, because people are going to be falling asleep soon.
Round up, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, Vrionidis, people have been waiting for my opinions on this. But yeah, Vrionidis has finally come out with his take on the wheel spinning that he's done for the match that was postponed in the 50th minute in the cup between Nea Salamina and Apoel due to a firecracker being thrown at Nea Salamina player from the Apoel stands. Now, first of all, they said that they were going to come out with something last week. Then I waited Wednesday night, because that's normally when Vrionidis peaks above the parapet, throws some shade, spins that wheel, lands on Gubez and Rebagna, doesn't give anybody anything. And then on Wednesday night, after he did all his business of commenting on every other fucking game that happened that week, they put out a very, very tiny statement on Wednesday night to say that the trial of the suspended Coca-Cola Cup match between Nea Salamina and Abuel was completed before the sports judge Aristotelis Vrionidis. The decision will be issued tomorrow, Friday, February 2nd. So, I wrote the notes originally when I wrote these notes. I wrote them on Thursday. So, I finished it with that. Great. Thanks, guys. Now, in the meantime, for their side of the troubles caused in the cup matches, despite flares being shot out of a gun outside the stadium, landing almost perfectly into the centre circle, as well as other objects being thrown into the stands, into the stadium, all their shit their fans got up to after the game, Vrionidis decided a fine was sufficient for Monia to Freddy's revenge, right? They only got a fine for all the crap that they got up to on the same night. Yeah.
By the way, as you're going to continue, I'm just going to bring up some clips that I put together of everything that's been going on recently, or everything I could get my hands on in like the space of 10 minutes. So forgive me if something comes up. And sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So, the Cyprus FA came out before that saying that Omonia, they were going to go hard on the teams of the fans of the teams that caused the trouble. Now, we then got Vrionidis' take on what went on, and in essence, I know I'm not going to read out the whole fucking 16-page legalese, blah, blah, blah. He said, she said, what, that, this, what, definition. At one point in the notes, he got out a dictionary to define what is meant by entirety. And I was like, okay, fine. Went through that whole fucking thing. And in essence, though, through all the bullcrap, the decision is that Abuela kicked out of the cup with a 3-0 win handed to Nea Salamina and a €15,000 fine for Abuela on top of that. So, Abuela are obviously not happy. So a statement was brought out. So I'm going to read out the statement because there's some things said in here. So the decision of Vrionidis is yet another proof of the improper functioning of the entire sports judicial system of the Federation, which, without taking into account the real evidence, proceeds with decisions based on other witnesses. In recent years, there have been countless examples of the non-objective treatment our team receives, especially from decisions of the sports referee, with more recent examples, the largest punishments in extent that have been subjected to our agents and footballers, while the exterminating punishment of the coach of our team is an unprecedented decision not only in the history of Cypriot football, but also at world level. At the same time, we see the leniency imposed by the sports referee on other teams in similar or even worse incidents. Abuel will not remain inactive in the evolving theatre of the absurd. I know, right? Some language. We will immediately proceed with an appeal against the decision of the sports referee, and we will use all legal means to prove the incorrectness of this decision. because this decision of the sports referee is not only unfair, but also dangerous to the sport itself. With this decision, he essentially gives the right to stop matches without applying the correct procedures and deprives Abuel of the opportunity to claim a cup. The referee on the match sheet never mentioned where the firecracker came from. Also, the referee never asked the police for security guarantee to continue the match. The referee clearly had neither the character nor the will to do so, and the referee, instead of sending a clear message that matches should be played and finished on the pitch, does the exact opposite. Now, I want everybody to remember that last bit there. Yeah? Instead of sending a clear message that matches should be played and finished on the pitch, does the exact opposite. There's a bit more. There's one more paragraph to this. At the same time as the appeal, Abuel will also file a complaint regarding the actions of the police and the stadium security officers. With 400 people in our stand, they failed to go through the rudimentary checks, as a result of which we experienced the fiasco of the arrest of a person who, instead of being at the ground at the time, was walking his dog, while another person entered the visitor stand without a ticket and without a fan card. And therefore, reparations will be sought from all those who bear the responsibility for the damages that our team has already suffered. And that's the end of that statement. You got any thoughts on that, Stel, before I carry on?
No. No. Well, I've got just got this vision of a guy just walking his dog while this shit is going on.
Well, no. What I'm imagining is he's walking his dog, and then just a SWAT team shows up and drags him into the van.
Get on the ground! Me on the dog!
It's unbelievable. So that last paragraph also is a good reason for Abuel to chase after
the dog?
The dog, yeah. It's probably the dog that threw it. No, to chase after.
Was it an Isle supporting dog?
Oh man! Just. Oh.
I'm sorry.
This is the serious bit, guys. This is the serious bit. It's too late. No, but Abuel, obviously, they have got every right to chase after the people who should have been doing the checks on these people, checking fan cards, checking tickets, checking for, highly explosive, dangerous materials. So, for that, I agree with them. Now, I'm going to go back to, remember, matches should be played and finished on the pitch. Right? So, yeah, guys, I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it, don't worry. First page of Rionides' materials. Well, first of all, it gives the phone number for the Cyprus FA. So if you haven't read the document and you want to let the Cyprus FA know your thoughts about the findings, I suggest you download it and just read the title of the document. It's got the phone number of the Cyprus FA there. So if you want, you can ring up and just let them have your thoughts. Negative or positive. Anyway.
I don't understand. Like, for me, that is just simply passing the buck. It's like if you go to a restaurant, like one of these, I don't know, like a Nando's, for example, and you want to complain, they go, well, we can't really do anything here, but here's head office's number. Can you imagine if they got people in Mumbai? The CFA have got people in Mumbai.
Oh yeah,
Indian call center.
Yeah, it's an Indian call center. Exactly. You got someone in an Indian accent going, yes, hello, my name is Beatrice. The weather in Lefkosia is very hot today, huh? Yeah. Yeah, Thalasai Polita Armeni in Lefkosia. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm gonna die.
So the next bit of his report that I want to bring up is the objection that Abuel put forward. So he says here, Abuel's objection was submitted on the 17th of January regarding the referee's decision to stop the match, and through it requests.
Abuel is like a typical Karen. I want to speak to the manager. Come on, guys, this is supposed to be serious.
Yeah, we're being serious, man. Come on. It's hold on, I'm gonna have a coughing fit. Just a second. Do more jokes. Okay, I'm back. Right. So Rebanya League, exactly.
Yep.
Abuel's objection was submitted on 17th of January regarding the referee's decision to stop the match, and through it requests A, the award of the match in Abuel's favour, B, the continuation of the match from the point in time at which it was interrupted, or C, the repetition of the match from the beginning. Yeah? That bit, as soon as I read that bit, I almost burst a blood vessel, right? Because publicly, the club has been screaming about playing the game, winning the game on the pitch. And their legal representatives have gone to the Cyprus FA, to Vrionidis, to be like, they postponed the game for no proper reason. Therefore, we should be given the game. Right? Now, I get a negotiation tactic, right? Oh, excuse me, sorry. Bloody hell, I'm dying. I'm so angry, I'm dying. I understand the negotiation tactic.
Get together.
Yeah. I understand the negotiation tactic because it's you go for the most extreme, that way you come somewhere in the middle, right? So they've gone like, no, we want you to give us the game because we were in charge, we were attacking, we were doing the better team. Therefore, you give us the game, and then work backwards to replaying the match without fans, for instance, right? I'm guessing that's what they were going for legally. Legally, go bang the drum, and then go, to just strumming a guitar at the end, But yeah, there's a load of stuff. There's another 12 fucking pages of this, basically talking about Abuel's defense, which was basically the match referee specified that he didn't know where the firecracker came from, and that the match referee told the stadium manager to announce that if any more firecrackers are going to be thrown, then the match will be stopped. So stop throwing firecrackers. And then afterwards, he cancelled the match, which goes against what he said. So that's the argument for Abuel. Grasping at straws, fuck's sake. Oh, yes.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, you're right. It's grasping at straws. All right. Now, there's also the referee's match report. I've got it here in quotes, the whole thing. So I'm going to read that out. More.
Yeah, this is what Mario was mentioning earlier, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, in the 51st minute of the game, while the game was stopped, I saw a firecracker explosion where the substitute players of Nea Salamina were warming up, and one of them was found on the ground. I immediately called the assistant referees, and we headed to the locker room, where I called the head coach to make where I called the stadium manager to make an announcement to stop throwing objects on the pitch. Then I called the stadium doctor, Dr. Anita Evangeliou, and then he gives her a number as well, Arithmon Daftodidas. So, if you want to find a doctor, we've got her Arithmon Daftodidas as well. There's no fucking redact this bit either. Anyway, to inform me which player was injured and in what condition he was, to which she replied that he is Georgios Baba Georgiou, number 20, and cannot continue the match. I asked her to recheck the player, and then after 10 minutes of reviewing the player, she informed me that she found that the player could not continue because he had a severe headache, dizziness, buzzing in his right ear, and that he was right ear, and that he was referred to Larnaca General Hospital for further specialized examination by a nose, what's it called? Throat, eye, ear, nose doctor, one of them ones anyway.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes doctor.
That one of them ones. Yeah. The doctor signed a report in writing, which I touch above. I didn't see the report. We've done is didn't put the report in writing. There you go. Otorinolaryngolosis. You want to give it a go? Give it a go. Give it a go. No, you muted yourself. Okay.
No, not even thinking about it.
Okay. All right. Based on the opinion of the match doctor, which she told me that the player cannot continue due to his injury, I decided to permanently stop the match after the player was injured by a firecracker that came from an outside influence. There's also the arbitration observer, so the guy who watches the referee. He also did a statement. Condition of the pitch and ancillary facilities was mediocre. That's how it starts. So, yes. There was a doctor on the pitch, a stretcher, as well as an ambulance. During the match, a relevant article of, I don't know what this bit means, but a relevant article of the notice was applied regarding the persons who must remain on the pitch. The game was played in the presence of on-field monitors and a police force, among fans in the stands and off the pitch. Before the start of the game, and while both teams and the referees were on the pitch, the fans of the home team had lit a large number of smoke bombs, resulting in a delay of the start of the game by 4 minutes. In the 50th minute, a firecracker had fallen from the stands of the away fans, which had injured a substitute player of the home team who was in an adjacent area for warm-up. After the incident, the referee stopped the game and entered the locker room with his assistants. The referee called me to the dressing room, announcing that he would stop the game due to an external interference that endangered the integrity of the players. After a certain period of time, he called the captains of the two teams and announced his decision. In the conversation we had, it was mentioned by the referee, the first assistant, and the match observer that the firecracker was found to have fallen from the stand of the away fans. After leaving the stadium, I received another phone call from the referee telling me that he would not note on the match sheet from which stand the firecracker had fallen because he was informed by the security officer and the stadium manager that there is a video confirming the facts, and in order to prove the opposite, it is better to avoid any reference in this regard. Right? So people keep referencing the referee's match report, the fact that he doesn't mention where the firecrackers come from. And the reason for it seems to be that because he got told after the fact that it had come from there, it was best to not mention that he knew it had come from there, because he didn't know it had come from there. Because, like everybody else, including all the TV cameras, Everybody else was watching the action on the other side of the pitch where an attack was happening. Right? Yeah. Okay, good. You're nodding means you're agreeing with me. Good.
Listen, I'm just sitting back listening to all of this because I'm trying to compute everything, and
Okay.
it just seems to me that there's a whole load of talking going on for something that has been resolved,
Yeah.
and it's just back and forth, and that word again, accountability.
There you go. Yes. But yeah, then there's also the match observer who basically went through the same crap, talked about the same stuff. But there's a whole thing about corroboration. They're not all saying the exact same thing because they're not all in the exact same place. But you slot the things together, you build a picture. There isn't anything in there that kind of goes against what everybody's saying. So even with Abuel saying the referee did the stadium asked the stadium announcer to say the stuff about the firecracker, the referee says he said that, and then he decided to cancel the match because of integrity of the security of the players, etc. Anyway, and then there's loads of, and then it goes into a shitload of legalese and case studies about other situations, etc., etc., etc. And then he gets to his decision, and basically his decision is to give the match to Nea Salamina, to fine Abuel 15,000, but there's also a fine for Nea Salamina, which equates to, where is it? It was on here somewhere. 3 grand as well.
Can I just stop you there and try and make all of this have some sense in my head? Because okay, so we've had weeks and weeks of problems, crowd trouble, yada yada yada. In fact, we've had years of it. Okay, but the last couple of years, especially when it comes to fans entering the pitch, throwing missiles, objects, whatever, right? It seems to have got worse. Okay, and a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about a possible strike. We were talking about the safety of players. We were talking about, the whole system in Cyprus being absolutely messed up. Okay, so let's get this, put it in a bag, tie the knot, and put it there for the time being, right? Has there been any responsibility? I just want to confirm: has the finger of blame been pointed at someone for this? So has it been confirmed that the missile came from an the Abu section? I know the police said it has. So we're all right here, yeah. So we're on the same page, okay? So we know that it's come from the Abu end. We know that they said that things will change, or that players will go on strike, or games will be cancelled, and yada 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 if this continues, which is what they've done. Okay, so this guy's come out with his punishment, and he said, "Salamina, go through. You're only going to get however much, 17k or whatever much it is. Fine, done." Right now, you have Abu turning around saying, "Well, it shouldn't have been cancelled because we were more attack minded." So again, I cannot understand the mentality of Cypriot football in general when you have the authorities saying, "We know where it's come from. We know that these are the rules that we've decided to implement for the protection of the players," and yet Upwell do not want to hold themselves accountable for what happened. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's exactly that. So in the defense, in the legal defense that they put forward, it was that you shouldn't blame the club for what a fan had done, right? So don't blame the club for something a fan did, because Abuel, the club, are not responsible for the behavior of their fans. Okay? And the fact is, the blame should be put on the people checking those fans coming into the stadium. Yeah?
Well, let me ask you a question then.
Yes.
In the build up to the game, after what happened at Anrothosi, or should I say at home against Anrothosi, did the club contact fans, send an email or a text message to say, please, this is something that we're all trying to fix? Again, it's accountability. Every club should have contacted fans because they've got their data, their email addresses or whatever they have, or phone numbers. They can send them a text. It doesn't have to be one by one. Send it to 9,000 or 5,000 or whatever. You know how mail shots work.
Mm-hmm.
So have they done enough? Have they done enough on social media to promote anti-violence? This is what I'm saying. So
well, I
while
don't
you
know
could
how
say,
useful those things are, though, because I've seen this come up a couple of times. For instance, IL put a statement out saying, we can't keep paying these fines. Please behave yourselves at the stadium. We need to protect the club.
well, this is it, right? You can't. Right, common sense is uncommon, okay? And the moment that person decided to put that firecracker in their pants or however which way they brought it in, the moment they picked it up, they probably should have thought, well, if I do throw it and it hits a player, my club are in the shit. They're already in the shit financially, right? But again, it goes back to common sense. What did this person get? Because I'd just like to ask someone that would do that, something like that, and say to them, what were you thinking when you did it? What was the purpose? Was it just to throw it and to make a loud noise? Was it for atmospheric purposes? Was it to hit someone? What was the thought process behind doing it? What were you getting out of doing it? Was it something that you could say, oh, you know, you went home and you watch it back on CW Vision and say, oh, see that explosion? That was me. I don't know. So yes, the club on this occasion, or should I say, the club doesn't have the responsibility for one individual. I get it, but they haven't done enough to explain to fans, look, if this happens, we're going to get a fine. We're going to get knocked out of the cup. If we don't win the league, Protathlima, we still got the cup to play for. But by doing this, we're going to get booted out. And this rule would have been for everyone. Did it not apply to IL?
So this is the bit where I was going to get to now.
Right.
A lot of Apoel fans are obviously kicking off about the club being kicked out of the cup for this. Again, part of it is because the club kept bringing out statements saying matches should be won on the pitch. Now, there's precedent for this kind of thing happening previously and the punishments being different. So I keep thinking back, and a lot of people were asking me questions about it on Twitter as well. And I kept bringing it back to when Anrothosis were really in the shit last season and they were losing 2-0 to Garmiodissa. And then the Anrothosis fans just started throwing all kinds of shit at Knockblock in the Garmiodissa goal. You know, they were throwing Molotov cocktails near him. There were like chairs and I don't know what it was. It was like some kind of barra he was waving around as well at some point.
It was a pole, yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I brought that up. Sorry.
Yeah, and they were banned. They had a stadium ban on fans for 2 matches for that.
And they lost the game 3-0.
Was it 3-0 or did they just keep the
3-0?
It was 3-0 that they lost it in the end, right? Yeah. So I think it's difficult to argue against the punishment based off of, one, things that have happened previously, and two, what should have happened previously with other situations that have occurred that are the same. You know, I think somebody posted a picture of something happening to an Apoel player in 2014.
2014. 10 years ago.
10 years ago. But yeah,
but this is the mentality. It's like
they didn't stop the game at that point, and they didn't. So that's kind of the argument. They're going back to, well, look what happened to us at this point, and nothing happened there. Or for instance, when they threw the firecracker close to the ball boy, the Omonia fans during the derby.
Absolutely.
And
But
something should have been done there.
Here's the
Something should have
fundamental
been done there as
difference.
well.
Here's the fundamental difference. People that are referring to things that happened 10 years ago is asinine because times change, right? Mentalities change. Back then, I'm not saying that it was acceptable, but it wasn't as well documented as what it is now. Times change, bro. Like, you know what it's like, especially in the UK, there are certain words you can't use because people get offended or whatever, but that's a different kind of situation. But I said it was 10 years ago. Now, with the Omonia situation and the ball boy, okay, I got a lot of shit on social media because people were saying you didn't report on it. I was on holiday. I didn't even know it happened. I didn't even watch the game.
Yeah, you were in the middle of the Caribbean somewhere.
Right. So how, with no Wi-Fi. So what do you want me to do? Just like swim in the ocean and swim to fucking the Dominican Republic and say, oh, can I use your Wi-Fi in a coffee shop?
No, don't do that because they'll be at you.
Well, you know, so okay, something should have been done then, but I don't think Vrionidi's punishment was a personal thing against Abuel. I don't think they were making an example out of Abuel. And this is how the people that are complaining on social media, it appears to me that they feel that it's a vendetta against them. Because if that was the case, then IL wouldn't have been kicked out. Here's the thing. Because let me finish hang about, yeah? I think I know what you're going to say, but I'm continuing just a moment, yeah?
Yeah, sorry.
So much has happened this season, right? Forget last season, because last season we had the issue with the Tyrior, and that game didn't go ahead, and neither team got the points, yeah? And we had the issue with Carmiodes, which you mentioned, where Northosi got the 3-0 loss. Other than that, I can't think of anything similar happening in the Protathlima. Off the top of my head, maybe someone will correct me, but it wasn't prevalent. This season, we've had referees' cars blown up, 2. Yeah? We had, obviously, the issue at the Razibi with Abuel and Anorthosi. It happened, something similar happened in the first game when it was kicking off on the pitch. It's a combination of a lot of things this season, and enough is enough. I thought 2 weeks ago we were saying someone's going to flipping die at this rate, so they need to do something about it. And here they are doing something about it, and people are unhappy. So, and if it happened with Omonia, I'd say fine, kick us out because we deserve it. And people are going to say, well, you can't just pick it because of one person. No, because the club hasn't done enough to educate people. The media haven't done enough, but the people are just dumb. They're just dumb. And they know the repercussions. So why do it? Sorry, continue.
No, but I mean, that's exactly what happened during the game or just after the game was postponed. There was stories of things happening in the stands. The ultras got hold of the guy through the firecracker and made their thoughts known, let's say, because the club was already facing a part stadium closure because of what happened versus Anorthosi. So any further trouble would have meant that the book was going to come down on the club. So people were aware that this was going to come. Now there's a very good question that's going to be asked next week when we hear from Vrionidis again on the Apollon AL match. Because, I mean, fair's fair. You'd think Apollon will get hit with a massive fine, and AL will also get hit with an even bigger fine, and thrown out of the competition.
I think they will be. I think there will be. There's, and you know, for their own sanity and for their own backs, they need to be kicking out IL. They need to be.
Because
I know
if
people are going to say, well, it wasn't just IL fans, but watch the footage. I mean,
it's mostly IL fans.
It's, you know, look, let me just take it. Can I take it back? Should I take it back? I mean, I don't even know where that hose pipe came from. To be honest, where did that come from?
Yeah.
Is that from the sprinkler system and they've just ripped it out? I don't know. So, okay, there were Apollon fans also throwing stuff, but who got on the pitch? You know?
Yeah.
And again, it's accountability. It's always people are so quick to say, well, yeah, it wasn't just us, it was them. Well, maybe you guys should use your brains and say, well, I'm not actually going to do this stupid shit and throw flares into the stands and aim it at children and, you know, scare the shit out of them so they don't ever want to go back to football games anymore. Like, what do you want me to tell these people, man? What do you want me to tell these people? It's bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
Absolutely bonkers. Pedro says, Thassos, I'm sorry, but there is no mostly it's your fault, not mine. They're both to blame. Both should be kicked out.
So Bedros is right, because there was a lot of trouble happening outside the stadium before the match and during the match and after the match. Oh well, I keep referring to a match. A match didn't happen, but what Vrionidis is going to review is what happened in the ground.
In the ground, yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, he would have, they would have thrown the book at on 29th of July as well. They would have thrown the book at them as well. So, you know.
The circumstances are different when it's off the field because it's not within the arena. It's not within the CFA's remit.
Because even our Apollon statement made reference to how well behaved the Apollon fans were in the stadium. They mentioned specifically the stadium in their statement. They then talk about what happened outside, because both sets of fans were as bad as each other outside. But in the stadium, where Vrionidis will be looking, because you'll be looking at video evidence, you'll be looking at what the referee's report said, and also the match observer and the referee observer's reports. And in there, the report's going to say pitch invasion by IL fans, flares being thrown by mostly IL fans. A lot of the violence within the stadium was from IL fans, whereas outside, it's not Vrionidis' problem. Outside, it's the police and the government's problem. So, which is why I think IL are going to get kicked out, massive fine, and Apollon are going to also receive a fine.
Watch this space. Watch this space.
They should. They should, because now there's a precedent that's been set.
Absolutely.
Now, if he says, oh, the situation's different, then, I mean, I'm going to kick off. I like to think I'm a very balanced Apoel fan, right? I'm not going to, but if they decide that game, we're going to play behind closed doors, that is going to be a kick in the balls for me, and I'll be ringing that phone number.
That's what they can't do it. They can't because it's basically they're going against everything that they stand for on this occasion. Do you get what I'm saying? They'll just be contradicting themselves. And it's not a matter of like, oh, you did this for one club, you did it for the other. You'd be contradicting themselves. They'll be contradicting themselves, and they lose any credibility they had. It's gone. It's gone. Have
you been following Cypriot football at all? I'm just checking in.
No, I know, man, but
Yeah.
listen, you can't turn around and say we're gonna make big changes. We're gonna make sure this doesn't happen again, and we're gonna punish teams for this particular thing. And then one week you kick a club out of a competition, and then you decide the following week that, oh well, we've done it already for one. We've kind of made an example of a team. Now it's like we're just gonna sweep under. You can't do it.
No,
You either
exactly.
get rid of IL or you get rid of both of them.
Yep.
IL and Apollon. It's one or the other. You can't, it's bonkers. But I'm pretty sure that he's gonna do it. I'm pretty sure he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Pretty sure
better.
He's gonna do it.
He better.
You better.
You better, because I'm gonna be ringing that number.
Fucking hell. Anyway, next.
Pedro keeps saying I think both of the teams will be out. That is going to be a logistical nightmare for the cup, which is why I think he's only going to kick IL out. Because if you kick IL and Apollon out, you've got a quarter final with 3 teams.
Unless they reinstate a team.
Who are they going to reinstate?
I don't know. Going based on what Abuel wanted, because they played the most attacking football. Just look at the previous round and see which team had the most corners. Give it to them. The team that got knocked out had the most corners.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway.
Hold on. Put that last comment up.
Loud French noises at a random Thursday night.
Stop a puppet. Yeah.
Very good.
There you go.
Anyway, next.
Yeah. Anyway.
How much more have we got?
That took up that. I'm going. I thought I was going through my notes. I'm like,
that
15
took up like
pages.
40 minutes, bro.
15 pages. What the fuck? And I was just scrolling through fucking only this document again. Right. Let's see. We've got another. There was another postponement that happened that wasn't due to the weather.
Yeah, just give someone to say that we just won something. Yeah, bravo. Give break down another million. Break down another $1 million. Congratulations.
But yeah,
shit, crazy it is.
There's another postponement that occurred that wasn't due to the weather this week.
Yes, this was more jovial.
Yeah, this one's more jovial. So the Othello's versus IL match never took place. And the postponement of the game is for the stupidest of reasons. The designated match doctor for the game thought the game was starting at 6 p.m. instead of 5 p.m.
He was probably thinking, I've got an extra hour to eat my Luvin.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, when Othello's, the home team, managed to get a hold of the doctor in question, he told them that he'd be there in 20 minutes. The Cyprus FA decided to postpone the match to a later date. This is a professional league. Professional top-tier league getting cancelled because the match doctor thought the game started an hour later. It's unbelievable. So, for people who don't know the process, the match doctor has an important role for the safe and secure running of the match, and it is the responsibility of the home team to arrange for the medical professional to be at the game should a medical emergency occur. So, for instance, if, say, a player has a firecracker thrown at him at the back of his head. Now, or say something, God forbid, like what happened to I'm trying to think the Bolton player. The Bolton player who had the heart attack.
Muamba.
Yeah, Muamba, exactly. Yeah, and they caught him on time. But things like that, you can get past serious situations like that if the match doctor is at the game. Now, the thing is, though, is that the players had gone to warm up before the game and were basically keeping warm for 20 minutes while they waited for the doctor to show up. So they did their warm up without a medical professional in place. So, believe it or not, the players' union wasn't very happy about that. So a statement came out with a proposal that in the future, prior to game starting, all relevant staff associated with the security and safety of the players on the pitch should have a meeting 1 hour before kickoff as a requirement. So basically, you arrange a meeting to make sure all the pricks that are supposed to be there measuring their dicks during the game measure their dicks an hour before the game. That way, we can all check everybody's dicks in the right place.
Do you know what? Did you hear what happened at the Wolves-Brentford game a couple of weeks ago? How the fourth official got injured, and on the tannoy they called out for any referees in the stands. And there's a Wolves fan that had his referees badges or whatever you want to call them, and he ran the line during the game. And obviously he had to be impartial, which he was. And I've seen it happen in the past where they've called out on the tannoy for a doctor. Yeah. In fact, didn't you say that the doctor? I think the doctor that saved Mwamba's life was from the crowd.
It was in the crowd. Exactly.
So I'm not saying that there aren't any doctors that are football fans, but could they have not have just said something out on the tannoy? Is there a doctor or a vet or someone that knows how to patch up someone? But it's baffling. It's really baffling.
It is baffling. But the reason behind that is the match doctor goes on the match sheet, so it's like a record
administration.
It's a record of somebody being there.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Honestly, man.
Exactly.
Honestly. And none of the physios were capable of doing that role. None of the physios of both sides were capable.
Well, I don't think a physio and a doctor are two different things, aren't they? So nothing happened. We're talking about something happening, but nothing happened. But yeah,
you do have team doctors.
Exactly.
You do have team doctors.
Yes.
So could neither one of them or both of them being capable to do that? It doesn't make any sense to me, man. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
Yeah. So Pedro's got a comment there regarding what you were saying about somebody in the stands. So, yeah, they were shouting for someone, but there wasn't anybody there. It was Othello Zael on a weekday, and he says there's probably 30 people at the gate.
Yeah, okay, but it goes back to what I said, that both teams have got team doctors. Couldn't both of them turn around and say, right, listen, we don't need this official guy here. We're doctors. Yep. We're capable to step up if need be. It's just, common sense.
Yep.
It's fucking common sense.
It is common sense. But that match doctor is a requirement as per the Cyprus FA regulations. So if your match doctor doesn't show up, then the game must be postponed. Now,
right, it says not allowed. The stadium must have a doctor and an ambulance. Did they have an ambulance there, or did they forget?
I don't know, but there's some more things that have come up.
Why don't they just go find the man that was walking the dog? The dog might be able to be the fucking doctor the way things are right now.
Fido PD.
A doctor.
There you go. You got it.
Yes.
So, a couple of people that had nothing to do with this got involved. One of them was Ethnikos Akhnas president, Gigi. Our mate Gigi. Yeah.
He's back.
He came out with a statement for some reason. He had nothing to do with it, but basically his statement was referring to the lack of resources of small associations, and as such, Athellos should be forgiven for this mistake, as we are all human. So that was his statement, right?
Are we human or are we dancer?
Don't. But let's see. Then Othello snuck out a press conference. It wasn't even a press release. It wasn't even a press release. It was like a post on Facebook. But yeah, they kind of hid it, but I got it. I saw it. I fucking saw it because for some reason somebody's got to look at fucking Othello's Facebook posts. So at this stage of the investigation of the incident, we are able to inform our members and the fan community that the responsibility for the doctor's presence was a contractual obligation of Nea Salamina. Pending both the completion of the investigation and the decision of the court, which puts our club in a difficult position, with all possibilities open, we reserve our rights. Further updates will be forthcoming when we can make other firm conclusions. So Othello's came out to say, no. Again, accountability. So yeah, Othello's play at the Mokostos Epistrophi, and they're renting the stadium from Nea Salamina. Because the pitch in Afieno is not Protathlima standard. So another club that had nothing to do with the match had to come out with a statement. Basically, they asked the press officer, and the press officer obviously came out with a defensive statement. Really, all that was left to hear was this: it is worthless to comment. There is a contract between the two teams. In a game where we are not competing, it is unworthy of comment. We have a contract, just as we have a contract for AES. And AES haven't had the problem. So. Negadonnun. I mean, I'm just waiting for Garavida to come out now and say something.
How long before a club blames aliens for something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
doctor, can't you see I'm burning? Oh, doctor, is this love I'm feeling? Oh my god. This doctor thought the game was 6 o'clock and it's 5. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So if the doctor can't tell the time, how the fuck is he going to tell if you're having a heart attack or not? You okay there? Poking you with a stick. Xugna.
Do something.
Fucking hell. Anyway, what's next?
Yeah, so I mean, the rest of the stuff is transfer news.
Well, by the way, have you put in there about Mr. Beefcake?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
That's in there, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Do we want to talk about that then?
Yeah. Do that one quickly.
Okay. So Olympiacos haven't been paying their players apparently. So the
another second division team not paying their players.
Yes. So don't worry, Pedro. We're gonna get into it. Don't worry. So the Olympiacos players they released a statement basically saying we've not been paid, or we haven't been paid properly for the last 2 months, being November and December, and 3 days before the transfer window was about to close, the president came to the playing staff and the coaching staff and the technical staff to say that we're going to have to reduce the wage budget of the team. Those people who do not accept, and we think this is very unprofessional, and went through a whole list of things, and basically the statement was like co-signed by all the staff at Olympiacos. So, resident Olympiacos Beefcake and ex-president now, Andreas Hartjodis, then went on Supersport FM to dispute this and said that in fact he'd walked into the changing rooms before their last game and paid 95% of their salaries in cash. So when I want to feel like he walked in kind of lifting the briefcases up and down like this that had the cash in. Be like, there you go.
It wasn't even notes; it was coins, wasn't it?
Yeah, most likely. But yeah,
Being farmer walks.
So of course, following this statement, the players' union went chasing, and Spiros Neofitidis then confirmed communications with Harjodis, and that the payment issues that the playing and technical staff have faced with the club will be resolved. Now,
You paid him a visit? So I knock on his door, bros. Where's the money, mate? Where's the money? I
it's
don't
right
have the money.
here.
Sit down.
It's right here.
You know, he goes, I said, Geraso, Gadi, what do you want? There's Nero. No, I'm okay. I'm all right. Cafe? No. Protein shake.
Yeah,
Have a protein bar. Fado.
yeah, raw eggs. Protein bar. There you go. But yeah.
Do you want to borrow my needle?
Now, on Wednesday night, Olympiacos had a general assembly where they voted in a new board of directors and in Pampers backs. Where they voted in a new board of directors and Harjodis was not involved. So, resident Olympiacos beefcake is now just a beefcake. Sad news. So I can no longer post pictures of him doing this when he's signing players. But yeah, there you go. Situation seems to have resolved itself, but now we don't have a man with arms bigger than my head involved in football.
It's all right. We'll find someone else. There's always someone.
I'll find somebody else to talk about.
We always find a character. It always happens.
Exactly.
Pantomime villain.
Now, there was another sacking that happened this week. Not a coach sacking. I've only got maybe 3 sentences on it, so it'll be very quick. So Jesper Janssen has been sacked as sporting director of Omonia. So there he goes, dropped from a great height, and it seems his transfer policy has been called into question. I also suspect the decision to get rid of Sofronis and to bring in Rekdal has also called his capabilities into question, at least board level, as well as some decisions in keeping some players, and as well as some handshakes. But yeah, no more Jesper Janssen at Omonia. Now, if you want some further discussion on what happened and thoughts of somebody involved closely with people around the club, then you've got 99 cents. If you've got 99 cents, you can watch back Stel Reacts.
Well, a lot has happened in the last 48 hours.
Yes.
And in fact, a lot has happened in the last 24 hours. Since the last time I did a pod about it. And what I will say is, you and I had a discussion about this. Well, it was like a WhatsApp voice note discussion earlier today about my theory behind everything. And the more I think about it, the more on point I think I am. The thing is, I cannot repeat my theory because of the repercussions that would happen. And it wouldn't affect me and you. It would affect other people. And I don't want to do that. Correct. I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. But what I will say, having talked to someone at the club, it could have been anyone because I know a lot of people. No, close your mouth. What I will say, Pedro, because I can say this. Yeah, you did. I did tell you to tell me. But yeah, very good, George. What I will say, having talked to someone at the club, I'm not going to say word for word what he said, but he said something along the lines of, when you pick up a stone or a rock and you see the same 2 people there, that's how you know there's a problem. I'm just saying, there are 2 people in and around the club that I believe cannot be trusted. And I actually think now, perhaps the president has seen it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And that's
Yeah.
my opinion based on what I was told. That's my opinion. Opinions aren't facts. Just take them in and let them go, as Chris Brown said. Anyway.
Well, listen. Like I said to you, when you see a 2-minute voice note from Stel, you know shit's gone down.
The worst thing about it, I spoke to a contact who works for a pretty big legal firm in London, and I told him my thoughts, and he goes, look, I don't know much about your club, but given what you've just told me, it sounds pretty spot on. It sounds pretty accurate as to what the plot line is. But don't mention names. Don't say anything else. Say what I just said, obviously, because you don't want to cause a stir. And you know what? Right now, I'm too tired for it as well, Thassos. I'm actually drained. You know, doing no Trophdas this season has probably been the most difficult. And it's not been because of the performances. It's because of the drama, the soap opera that's been going on around the club. And that's where it's become. I've had Norwegian and Swedish agents, journalists messaging me throughout the week saying, what's going on with JJ? What's going on with Rekdal? I said, I don't know. I legitimately don't know. Rekdal is on a €1 million contract till 2025.
Jesus.
Maybe that's one of the reasons why Papastavro was absolutely livid, because again, from what I was told, that's the angriest people have seen him in and around the club. So someone has been messing with his money.
Yep, and that's something you don't do with someone who's got money.
Bro, it's like the saying goes, when the cat's away, the mice will play.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. But you know what I find really weird is that, you know, we've spoken about this many times. In Cyprus, it's very difficult for people to keep quiet, right?
Yeah.
But are there any places reporting on said information?
No, because I think they're too scared to.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
I think they're too scared.
Is it Super Sport FM? I've got the couscous bit, or is it Gekida? One of them, or the other, like rumors, and they basically just drop some hints like, maybe Jensen might be sacked, maybe because the fans aren't happy. It's not got anything to do with the fans,
mate. From what I've heard and seen myself and speaking to other people, each club has got one or two people that are very, very good at making threats and trying to silence people. And look, I've tried my best to keep my mouth shut, not for my sake. I couldn't care less what people do to me or say to me. I'm a grown-ass man. But I know that things that I say would have ramifications on others, and I don't want to do that.
Correct.
Because it'll be irresponsible. It'll be reckless. Yeah. What am I gaining out of it? If I was a millionaire, I wouldn't give a shit. You know, I wouldn't give a shit because whatever. Like I could just fuck off to an island and live my own life and not worry about no one else. But there are other people who are involved in the stuff that we're doing, and they will get the brunt of it. And I don't want them to, because it's not fair. It's not fair. But again, it's not fair because people are guilty by association, according to many in Cyprus. And it's sickening. But what can you do?
Yep.
Anyway. Well, George says here, the guy did not become a billionaire by being stupid. He'll get his revenge at some point and the shitstorm will be huge. Well, he needs to act quick, because the leeches have had their own way for a long time, for a very long time. And perhaps it took this for him to realize who these leeches are. I personally believe he's been stabbed in the back.
So obviously your your predictions for Omonia is probably that the club is going to suffer a bit while this situation resolves itself.
The thing is, also, it's not an overnight fix.
No, it's not.
It really isn't.
No.
And, you know, it's like what I said in the members area. The club waited a year and a half to bring in a sporting director. Now, apparently there's talk, again, Govendes, that they've got someone lined up. And I'm thinking, it took a year and a half to bring in a sporting director. How's it now taken you a week to bring in a new one?
Mm-hmm.
Unless it was the second choice. Unless they're bringing in the second choice. I don't know.
Yeah.
But again, that one is going to have to bring his own head coach in, because no way is he going to want to work with the current head coach unless he knows him.
Yep.
And what are the chances of that happening? You know,
Very
but
good question.
with Janssen sacking, we can talk about this one. We can freely talk about this one, because the rumors, because that's what I'm going by, because I haven't got the facts here, but the rumors are he was making commission from transfers. Now, in my head, I'm thinking the four that I'm certain he brought in were Amor and Franson, who are Patrick Mork's clients, an agent who he's been friends with for a long time, Erakovic and Bakic. They're the four in total that he's brought in.
Yeah.
That I can safely say are his. So the rumors are he's made something from those. Apparently, that is what breached his contract. There was a clause in there that he wouldn't get any compensation. The club have been very, very particular as to what they've said in terms of his contract, but apparently he's not getting any compensation, and it's probably because of this clause. He wasn't supposed to be doing that.
Yeah.
That's it. So whether we like it or not, he had to go by the club's contract, the contract they signed with him. Now, for me, I'll tell you this, like I told people on the podcast, sporting directors taking commission of salaries or transfers isn't uncommon. It happens everywhere.
Yeah,
it happens everywhere.
I mean, there's some coaches that do it as well.
Yeah, oh yes, of course. But Omonia, for some reason, all of a sudden care about integrity. They didn't care about integrity when they were signing players like Amor, who we know about his past. They didn't think about integrity when they signed Iai on loan, when he was accused of SA. So integrity goes out the window, you know, when it suits them. But that's the same with every club.
Yeah,
morals do not exist in football. They do not exist in football, my friend.
Yep.
They do not exist in football. And there's one here. It'll be interesting if you made a podcast with Jordan. I do have the contacts, and I would never have him on my pod. A couple of years ago, when he was interested, I wanted to have him on to hear what he had to say. But for me, he's a performer. He's a performing arts guy. You know, he goes on Twitter and he talks about how he loves the club. Where were you in 2018? Or even before that? He had money then. Where was he?
Mm-hmm.
And this whole thing with Baba Stavro wanting to buy the club, again, he made Baba Stavro look like a mug because he had no intention of buying the club. And we all fell for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we fell for this. So anyway, I just hope that Baba Stavro turns around and he turns into Rambo and he takes everyone out who shouldn't be there. Everyone out.
It'll be interesting because there'll be ramifications further down to other clubs as well. So
they're acting irrational and jumping the gun, which will lead to more problems. Well, do you mean by sacking JJ or just in general? I don't know.
Now, so that's all the serious stuff out of the way. We've got some. So obviously a transfer deadline day went past. So should we talk about some transfers?
Come on, let's get them out of the way.
Okay, so I mean, I'm gonna lead from the top. The most important one that actually came out. It was either this. Yeah, it must have been this morning. Is that Doxa have re-signed the legend that is Khaled Adhanom. Why he's a legend, for people who don't know, he's the scorer of the first goal at the Alpha Mera Stadium.
Yes.
Yes, and he's back, baby. Khaled Adnan, red card enthusiast. Red cards, penalties conceded, and own goals. He's going to be.
The works.
Yeah, we're gonna have some more clown shows to deal with. Now, next thing, Bafos signed some players on deadline day. 2 loanees. One is a Contreras, a Costa Rican forward on loan from Riga. That doesn't
From
sound
Riga.
dodgy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that doesn't sound dodgy at all.
Oh,
Bafos loaning
no.
a Riga player.
No. Never heard
It's
that
not
happen
like
before.
it's not like they don't have the same owners or
I
anything.
can't piece it together, mate, to be
Yeah,
honest.
whatever. Oh, by the way, Riga paid €1 million for him as well. So
Wow, okay.
yeah, he's got a good scoring record, but his scoring record is mostly in Costa Rica. So, and then the other one is this 22-year-old Brazilian winger from Atlético Paranaense, who's called haha
Ha ha.
haha.
Like Nelson from Simpsons. Ha ha.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Now, going to go back to your club for a second as well. We've got a couple of
Why?
transfers out. 19-year-old forward prospect Didos Procopio was released and then signed very quickly by Nea Salamina. So he did very well in the 6 months signing from Olympiacos in Greece. At least he's wearing red and white again for him. He's used to wearing a red and white shirt. Are you doing this because it's like getting rid of young players? Is that the thing? And then the other one is obviously on the other end of the experience ladder is Karim Ansarifad. He's now gone to Aris Thessaloniki. Yep. Now another out at Omonia is Loizu. Now we mentioned this before in the last week's pod about, and I think beforehand as well, because there was rumours all the way through the transfer window. You had Plymouth, Basel, 2 teams in Italy. I mean, even Fabrizio Romano jumped into it as well. Yeah,
He did.
Yeah, except apparently Loizu was joining here in Wien from Abuel.
Yeah, that's fantastic stuff from Fabrizio.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Fabrizio.
Funny that we were the first ones to spot it. We put it on social media, and then he went all over.
Yeah.
All over. Yeah.
Ooh, Fabrizio. Ooh. Anyway, either way, out of the teams he could choose, I think he chose the most successful, at least this season, at the moment. So it'd be difficult to break into that first team. But if he makes it, the only way for him is up, I think.
And if you look at the players that have come out of Heerenveen over the years, you know, they know how to develop players. And it's a win-win for everyone.
Yep.
He joins them for 6 months. If they want him, they have to buy him out, 2.5 million, which is what the club wanted. If they don't think he's good enough, he comes back and he gets another opportunity to develop. And then other clubs might look at him again, or they might not. You never know. But look, from what I understand, he's always had this confidence in himself. You know, I was talking to a former Omonia youth coach that coached him at under 15 level, and he said that there was 2 players. There's Loizo and this other one, and one of them was better than that. The other one was better than Loizo in terms of ability, but he just didn't have it up here. Like he didn't have the. He showed fear, whereas Loizo didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's got this burning desire to be a success, and I think he knows that this is a high pressure situation for him because he wanted to move abroad. He got his move abroad. Now it's on him, and I think it's a type of pressure that he will thrive on, man.
Well, he's 20 years old and he's already got 150. I think it was 153
games on his belt.
Yeah. So as a 20-year-old to have that many appearances already kind of shows you the kind of player he is.
Yeah.
Now, he's probably arriving at a situation in Heerenveen that he's probably not used to, in that he's going to have to fight for his place again.
Oh, I thought you were going to say mid-table club, but
No. He's
he's
going to have to fight for his place. He's going to have to fight for his place.
Yeah.
So, different kind of mentality required for that. So let's see how it gets on. Let's see how it gets on.
They got Fortuna Sittard tomorrow, and then Ajax on the 11th.
Keep an eye on that one.
Indeed.
Keep an eye on that one. Now, there was also an incoming on transfer deadline day.
Yes.
I don't think you've spoken about it yet, but we've got Hamas. Hamas?
Thank you. Thank you. We have a left back that can actually be a left back. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Honestly, we have a left back that can be a left back. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled. Absolutely thrilled. And he's a very good player, man.
He is. He's just come back from the injury as well. That he had cruciate ligament injury in March last year.
Yep.
So he's gone through the whole recovery process. It's towards the end of that now. Now is about getting match sharpness back. So it'll be 2 or 3 games, I think, coming off the bench before he's thrown in starting, I think. What do you think?
He won't play against Apollon.
No.
He won't play against Apollon. No chance. So his debut will be against Ethnigor away. Is it Ethnigor? I think it might be Ethnigor away on that pitch. But look, he gets up and down the field. He can cross a ball. He can take a corner. He can take a free kick. He can defend, which is a lot more than the other 2 left backs are doing at the moment. So I think it's an upgrade. Certainly, he's at a good age as well. Morocco, he can, I'm pretty certain he can play for the Moroccan national team. And funny, we talk about Hamas because my boss is really good mates with Mustafa Hadji, who, as you know, was.
You keep bringing up these Aston Villa players, man.
Sorry, bro.
It just triggers the good chemicals in me.
Yeah, and I know he's going to have a word with Mustafa Hadji to keep an eye on the lads. So yeah, man, it's I'm happy. I'm happy. And to be honest, this January, I think we've done well in the market. In all fairness, we needed a goalkeeper. We brought one in. We needed a striker. We brought in 2. All right, one of them's proven, one of them isn't. But you never know. And it was obviously Hamas. So, all right, there's still work that needs to be done. There's still a core group of players that need to piss off. But it seemed to be getting there slowly. And then they got rid of the sporting director, and now we're starting again. But I think whoever comes in, bro, sorry to go on about this, but I think whoever comes in is going to take a look at that squad, one training session, and they're going to be like, shit. And they'll know straight away.
Yep, I think you're right.
Youngsters in Cyprus need to bark up who we bullied in Holland. Look at the muscle build-up of Johnny's. Yeah, but that'll come in time. And I still, he'll stop growing at 23, 24.
Yeah, remember, he's only 20.
Yeah.
So he's got plenty of time to develop outside of his
Still,
game.
did you go to Arsenal on Monday? I didn't know. I didn't go to that. Did you ask me this before, Theodoro? Someone else told me about this the other day, actually. Was it yesterday? Someone else mentioned it. No, I didn't go to that one, no. At Highbury. What did Stel think of Gitzel? I thought he was a good defender. I thought he was a good player, but defending, he was terrible. Absolutely terrible. And I've got loads of footage of him not being able to head the ball, not tracking runners, ball watching. He defensively, he was atrocious. But going forward, very, very good. I remember under Yannick, he'd play at left back and they'll be drifting into the middle of the park to help it to become like a third central midfielder. So yeah, he has ability, but defensively, forget it. Fucking frog in a blender. Hamas was sitting on the bench for 10 months. Has been training for a month and a half. Bravo. Good.
Yeah. So it is basically it. He just needs to get his match sharpness up now.
That's all. Are you a Spurs fan?
Fuck off, Spurs.
Oh my god. But yeah.
Right.
Anyway, anything else?
So yeah, there was one more Fabrizio Romano story. It's surprising that he got so involved with Cypriot football this time around, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, so Hefte didn't go to Rangers, did he?
No, he didn't.
That's
No.
the news there. He did not go to Rangers. So, there was plenty of talk. And even Big Boss Man here, he went on 2 separate Scottish shows to discuss Hefte and
Yeah,
what
one
kind
of
of
them they
player
didn't
he
even
is.
play.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually, I was like looking for it on the YouTube or on their YouTube channel. I was like, where's Stel? Where's Steel?
Yeah, well, see, this is exactly, yeah, Steel, yeah, which is what they called me. Fucking hell, they called me that on their bulletin. I was like, "What are you doing?" I'm not even going to clip that. And then I asked them, they're like, "Yeah, well, if we're going to play it on our podcast if he signs." I'm like, "Well, good luck with that."
Yeah,
Good luck with that.
yeah. But yeah, I also got asked a load of questions from Rangers fans as well.
There you
Excited to
go.
pick him up. Yeah. I didn't get invited on any call-ins or any fucking shows though. But
I'll put
anyway,
your name. I'll put your name forward,
no,
mate. So don't worry.
don't put my name. Don't put my name because as you know, I find it very difficult to not say swear words. So especially if I get passionate about something. Now, so obviously he didn't sign.
We don't have a live
Oh,
quiz. Friday nights don't exist.
yeah. I was like, pick up a beer, coffee,
It's
whatever.
him. It's him.
The only reason, right, I keep being on this is the second time I've seen this now. Somebody calling me that. The only reason it is because some clubs don't have Twitter or Instagram or stuff. They just put it on Facebook. And since nobody has Facebook anymore, or those that do have Facebook go on it because, my yaya's on it and she needs to see some of my pictures, people don't really pay attention to the clubs on Facebook anymore.
Yes, on his YouTube pictures.
Yeah. Except for me,
brilliant.
I'm going like, oh, what Othello's doing? Garmiodissa. What are these guys doing? Sometimes you get some gems. Like, for instance, last week we discussed Pavlovec signing for Garmiodissa, and they had the fucking car number plates underneath. Like what? Anyway, going back to Hefty. So, agreement couldn't be reached between Apoel and Rangers, even if Rangers had agreed with Hefte's parent club, Fluminense, about the transfer. Always put a break clause in your loan deals, guys.
Yep.
Just in case something like this happens. Basically, I read up at Apoel were asking for €500,000 to break the contract. And Fluminense weren't going to pay that, and Rangers weren't going to pay that. So, what's going to happen is basically Apoel are going to keep Hefte till the end of the season, and they're going to exercise their option to buy the player. And as soon as they exercise the option to buy the player, they're going to ship him off. And like I mentioned I think you mentioned last week, that I talked about Ola Tunji, who was the Ajax player who got sent out last season to Slovan Liberec.
Yeah.
And then they bought him, and then 17 days later, they sold him for almost twice as much to Sparta Prague. So yeah, it happens. Now, one thing that did happen was Hefte started to not show up to training to try and force a move. But, out of all the people involved in this deal, Petridis was the one who was just going around doing this to everybody. I'm not blinking, you blink.
Like Mr. Bean.
You blink, I'm not blinking. Ooh, So, part of it as well is that he obviously thinks he can get more for Hefte in the summer, especially since, he hasn't really kept it a secret, has he? He went on that Orange Legacy podcast and said, "Yeah, we've already received offers for Hefte to sell him in the summer," and this was in the middle of December.
Amazing.
So
Amazing. Listen, he's pulled 2 blinders this season. You got to give it to the crazy guy. He's pulled 2 blinders. This thing with Kefter and with Gabriel.
Yeah.
The lad was playing up. He said, "Fuck off! You're going to under 19s and you're going to rot there for a bit until I get what I want." And he got what he wanted.
He got what he wanted. Transfer
So he's pulled 2
embargo gone.
blinders, man.
Transfer embargo gone, and he managed to
He
sign
pulled
3
2
players from
blinders.
it.
Hey,
No.
you love to hate him. That's it.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
You're going with that.
But yeah, so they signed some players now that the embargo has been lifted. So we've got another loan signing for Fluminense.
Yes.
A defender called Cipriano. So if I had a nickel every time a Brazilian defender called Cipriano signed for a team in Lefkosia this season, I'd have 2 nickels.
Yes. A Cipriano in Cyprus.
Yeah, exactly.
Cypriotic.
Yeah, Cypriotic, exactly. Now they also announced
Cyprian. Apparently Cyprian. Yeah.
Also announced as Gabriel Maioli. It's like the way his name's written is like a mix between Mayo and Aioli.
Mm.
Mayo times 2. Anyway, he is a 20-year-old Brazilian winger who was in Sao Paulo's under 20s. I don't know much about him. I tried to look him up on Transfermarkt. There was barely anything. But a guy, a follower on Twitter called JotaJota77_ gave me a quick description. He hadn't played in the main team yet, but his performances in the under-17s and under-20s was good. In short, he's an outstanding player. I'd say he's very versatile, easily can play as a left wing or right wing, and depending on the circumstances, can be even a 9. So, be interesting.
Okay.
Now, also signed is this guy who's been hovering over the training ground like a fucking ghost is since the beginning of January, is Said Mehri.
Got an assist against Garmudson, no?
Who got an assist against Garmudson. He came off the bench and put a fantastic cross in as well for that goal. But yeah, so yeah, that's all the Abuel business. Nice.
So the question is, who do you think won the transfer window?
That's a very good question. Now, it's a difficult question to answer, isn't it? Have you got a winning team?
I don't even know all of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'll have to look online quickly and see.
Let's see
what we've got.
Well, while you're looking, I've got.
You have a spreadsheet, don't you?
I do have the spreadsheet. That's a good point. Well, you want me to get it up on screen?
I'm just trying to find a website that's got that information. Sorry, it's my chair. It's not me fighting. It's okay. I promise. If I fight, I'd have told you. I promise.
Right.
They stink really bad these days because my diet's changed again.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Right.
Come on.
I've got it.
Well, yeah, but what do you have?
I've got my spreadsheet.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
I've got it. Right. So present, share screen, and then I've got to click on that. Am I doing it? There it is.
Yeah.
There you go. So I signed a player and got rid of a player. I filled out their block of 4. This one was an interesting one there. That was from nowhere really. That this very young Argentinian left back called Lautaro Cano.
Yeah.
There was something about Jalma being released that came out like the day before the transfer window.
He wanted to go home, didn't he?
And then, sorry?
Yeah, he wanted to go home, didn't he?
Well, yeah. And then for some reason, Apollon had to release a statement to say that they weren't interested in it. I don't know if that was a joke or what, but yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So they released a load of players. Aez. I see Aez are missing one there. We heard about one going on there that didn't end up happening in the end, didn't we?
Yeah.
That would have been a that would have been a good one.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I
Yeah, I
not
think he's going to
yeah
retire now.
yeah. Well,
I spoke to him today, actually. Yeah.
it can still be a coaching boy. Come over.
Well, or he could be a co-host on the
Oh,
pod,
a co-host. Yeah,
which is
exactly.
what we discussed the other day on
Hey.
Saturday,
Oh
actually.
my God.
Anyway,
How embarrassing! I spelled Granada wrong. Right, there we
don't
go.
worry about it. Well, in that case, I think I'm gonna give it to.
Apollon haven't had a bad window, you know. Those are three very good signings for
I'm
Apollon.
giving it to Ari. I'm giving it to Ari.
Yeah,
I'm giving
Semedo
it to
has
Ari.
been. I think Semedo's been fantastic, and obviously the sale of Babica. That's a big one.
I'm giving it to them
Yeah.
slightly.
Yep. But yeah,
Yeah.
few players signed this window, but not as crazy as it was last January. No, not a lot of teams went out and got all 4 players that they were allowed to get. And then there's a couple of teams that just cleared fucking house. Look at that.
Yeah.
I ended up releasing, what's that? 6 players. Voxa, 8 players. No, sorry, 7 players. Othello's as well. There you go, 6 players. Whereas they've not really brought in as many as they would have. But yeah.
Although what I will say, Minjita scoring twice on his debut,
Yes.
he looks like a decent player. So the
Yeah.
scouting's been done pretty well in that respect so far. Anyway,
Yes.
George has asked, Stel, who do you think will find the Maiole for Omonia? Simos or the other guy? Depends who gets the authorization to be the person making the decisions on transfers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Omoni's transfer window will prove incredible in the long term, but I think Ari has best short term. Yeah.
Oh wow!
And,
the signings that Aris have made, they're all 21 and younger.
Yeah.
So, especially
and don't forget the signings that they made in the summer have actually started to come good now.
Yeah. So players like Saul, for instance.
Yep.
But yeah.
Anyway.
Stuff. But that's all the news. I don't think you want any more news.
No, I think we're done.
That's all the news, man.
It's 1:45 in the UK. It's 1:45 in Cyprus, and
the people are still fucking watching. Friday night, man. Did you guys don't have a club or anything to go to? Or is it because it's raining and you guys can't deal with the rain?
Come back to this when Stepinski scores the cup winner for you guys. Yeah, let's see. Inshallah. But I'll tell you what though. Before we finish it off, it's better. Yeah. Before we finish it off, which young players do you think will excel next season? Can you think of one? Just think of one player that you could think, okay, he's a youngster, and I think that he will do really well next season.
That's a good question. That I'm gonna go.
Where are you, Chris? 3:45. Where are you?
That's
America.
That's what that's East Coast, isn't it?
I don't know, man.
That's like LA or something.
That's wild, Chris. I don't know where you are, man, but kudos to you for tuning in at this time of the morning. Flipping hell.
PM.
Or this time in the evening, sorry. No, this time in the evening, sorry. If I feel, Cyprus, it's morning, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Sacha, who's that? Oh, Osle. I'm sure it's Osle. Too old for clubbing. Yeah, I know the feeling, bro. Sacha.
But Sachat is already impressing, guys. I'm trying to think of somebody who isn't. There you go, LA. Come
on.
Hollywood man.
City of Angels.
Yeah. But yes, so I'm trying to think of somebody who hasn't impressed so much yet. But I think so. Mario's just put a good one up there. Is Pondigoza Apollon.
Yeah.
I think he's a very good player. The other one,
I'll be honest with you. I don't think he's got the mentality. To be honest,
no. Okay, I
because
think
he left with his cousin Foddy, didn't he? The Omoni Academy, and he went to Germany, and then he came back, and I don't think he's got it. But anyway, Isle has one player. Who?
There's Evangelos. What's his name? Evangelos Andreu.
Andreu, the left winger.
Yeah, or I mean Yerolemu.
Possibly. I've got one.
I've got one. I do have one. I keep getting distracted by the comments though. I want to see Anorthosi play Giulio more.
Okay.
Because he looks like a fantastic player. He's just not given the chance.
Yeah. My one, he's scored a couple times already this season, but Szymanski. I think this. I'll tell you what, this kid, if he stays on the straight and narrow, he'll be playing in one of the big leagues. He'll be playing in the Premier League or in Serie A or La Liga. I'm telling you, he is a beast, and he's one of those players that he reminds me a bit of Solskjaer in the sense that he's very instinctive in front of goal, and he's very what's the word? He's very accurate with his shooting, near post, back stick. Yeah, man, he's just different class.
Yeah,
Foddy is amazing. Guys, who do you think the player of the season is so far?
Well, if you had asked me this in November, it was going to be Guerrero, but he got injured, and then he started coming back, and now he's got ankle ligament injury, so that's gone. But yeah.
So have you got anyone else?
Well, so it's an interesting one. I think there's a case to be made for Marquinhos doing what he's doing at the moment.
That's what I would say, and I don't think it's even a contest, to be honest.
No.
I don't even think it's close.
Okay, all right. Because I was going to who else was I gonna? I had another one, but it's gone now. Yeah, Mario has just mentioned Dalcio. Dalcio has been very impressive as well.
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
Again, kind of, we started the season. Our boy started the season with just individual players, and there's been Melisas.
I think he means Buffon, the Buffon.
Quizás, yeah.
Quizás, yeah. Poundland Buffon.
Yeah. But they started kind of the way they started their season. You mentioned it just looked like a load of individual players playing, and then Dominguez takes control during the match, and all of a sudden the players are playing like a team.
Yeah, I think Marquinhos is a different level, and you can tell, man, like he's just ridiculous. Stel, what happened to that British Cypriot guy, Anthony Georgiou? He was at Paralimni on loan, wasn't he? And
yes.
And he's been released. And I know that he was supposed to go to club on trial in New Zealand, but I don't know if that happened. Because a mate of mine who's a physio asked me about him because he was going to recommend him. So, anyway, but I don't know too much about him, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. Amor.
Apparently, he's still at Paralimni, according to Transfermarkt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't he at Yeovil before? I'm not sure. Anyway, What about a disappointment of the year? Oof. Disappointment of the year.
That's a very good one, isn't it? That's a very good one.
I'm trying to think now that this one's going to bother me.
Yeah.
You have to go through the flipping squads.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you
Oh,
someone that thought,
Musunda
yeah,
for me. Musunda.
easily Musunda has been. He's not been there, has he? The other one is Abdul Rahimi, has been very poor
Yeah.
compared to how
Started
he
the
got
season
on.
well.
Yeah, well, no, he didn't.
No, he did. I think he scored a
Did
couple
he?
of goals at the beginning of the season. Yeah.
The stats I've got for him. Anyway, either way, he didn't do well throughout the season. After that, he didn't kick on at all, to the point where he's actually been released by Apollon now.
Yeah, true.
So he's gone.
Lang, Militic, lads. The question was biggest disappointment, not biggest load of shit.
But yeah, Kokorin,
Gogorin.
Georgia. Yeah, he's been very quiet, like I mentioned. Like I mentioned before. It's kind of. I mentioned it at the beginning of the season as well. Is that they planned for the season without him, and then the Chads came to bring him back to the club, and they brought him back, and he doesn't slot in like he did last season. He seems almost like a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah, I get that.
And I think that's why it's not working for him at the moment. Mario's got a good one.
Jairo? Isn't he second top goal scorer?
He scored 10 goals. He's been very quiet for the last few games.
Yeah.
Been very, very quiet.
Have they got Doxa coming up? Because he usually batters them, doesn't he?
I'll check, but maybe, looking at Doxa's results against some of the teams at Thassos' level, I wouldn't surprise if Doxa beat him.
Yeah. I'll tell you who has been a disappointment for me. Mamas and Gushko, them two. Non-existent this season. I thought Mamas was going to step up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think he's had a couple of injuries as well, though. It's a bit like Catelaris. Catelaris got signed, and he's a very good player. He is a very good player if you can keep him fit. He's made out of glass, and I think Mamas is the same. Is there or thereabouts. It gets to the point where he starts being brought into games, and then a bit more and a bit more, and then he just gets injured.
I'll tell you someone else who's been a disappointment for me, and I was talking to the boys about it in the WhatsApp group, Spiridagi, because leaving Omonia and to go to Salamina, I thought, you know what, this guy was under 19 level. I know it's a different level, but he was a bagsman. Yeah. And he's gone to Salamina. I don't think he's even played.
No.
Has he even played? I don't even know. Like, I don't even know.
I don't think so. It's a weird one. But I mean, before Doregaray left, he'd have difficulty getting into the first team anyway.
Oh, for sure.
But Doregaray's gone. Dormishai is injured. So you'd think that he'd be given that opportunity. But either way, right? He might still get that opportunity because it might be a talking point for next week. But the Christodoulou, when they were giving him the match, when he was doing the post-match interview, was talking as if he was going to get sacked in the morning.
Yeah.
Like he was like, the responsibility lies with me. The players know that. The leagues, know that. We're going to keep working hard to find a solution. And the more he was talking, the more his head was dropping and being like, like as if he knew he was going.
Yeah.
So maybe maybe more chances for somebody like Spiridakis.
Possibly.
Kick on.
Is what Mario mentioned, Fransol. He's been a revelation this season.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Waiting for Marquez to do his top goal scorer of the season stuff.
Well, listen, he got a good goal the other day, man. And he's playing on money at the weekend.
He did. It was a good chip. It was a really good chip.
If he's playing against Lang and Militic, you'll get a hat trick, no problem. No problem. We'll probably get 5.
Writing that down.
Anyway, I'm fucking knackered. Shall we wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up, man. We've been doing it for 2 hours and 20 minutes. Let's go.
Anyway, sorry, I'm yawning now. This is how tired I am. I never usually yawn on podcasts, but we've done it about 8 times so far. So yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to follow Thassos at Flares Cafes. We've also got the Flares Cafes website. Visit foodfromcyprus.com. We've got a Discord. We've got a Facebook. We've got a Twitter at This Is Mappa. Instagram as well.
What else we got? What else we got?
That's it. That's it.
That sounds about right. Sounds about right. I do match predictions before every match day on Twitter. Marios is trying to take me on. He's going down.
Cheers, JD. Top man.
Thanks, man. But yeah, it's if you guys want to join in as well, chuck some match predictions at me. Let's go.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's it, boys and girls. We'll be back next week. So until next time, be nice and stop throwing things